Does your kettlebell swing feel more awkward than a boner in gym class?
Stand up straight.
I can't. If so, you're in the right place. Because today I'm going to be covering the top 3 kettlebell mistakes my clients have made over the last 30 days and how we've corrected them. Starting with mistake number 1, which is twofold. I've been seeing a lot of hips too high, where the hips are at shoulder height. And number 2, I've been noticing that the bell is pointing straight down. And what we want to see in this setup is our hips splitting the difference in height between our knee and our shoulder here. That way, when we do actually execute the kettlebell swing, we end up getting our quads involved in the knee extension portion of it as we come up here versus missing out on that quad extension because our legs are too straight here. And in regards to the vertical kettlebell, we actually want to tilt that handle at a 45-degree angle, because if you leave your kettlebell like this, well, it's a good way to get a gooch smooch from the old kettlebell. And I prefer an unbruised fleshy fun bridge. So what we're going to do is actually tilt that kettlebell handle so it's a 45-degree angle, make sure that we have that hip height splitting the difference between the shoulders and the knees, and then we're going to hike that thing and actually extend. Which leads us to mistake number 2, which is all hips, no knee. Meaning that your hips fully extended, but you're not getting your knees fully straightened out. So you're leaving all sorts of velocity on the table because you're not getting these big muscles of the quads involved. So if I had a headlamp strapped to my crotch, I should never once flash anyone in the eyes, right? If I'm blinding someone because I am leaning back, that means I'm not getting my knees straight. So what we should see is this light is going straight forward. And while I'm normally helping my clients see this and tell them how to correct it by straightening their knee out, there's a good way that you can go about doing this on your own too. And that is by simply setting up a tripod or your phone, just propping it up from the side view like this, so you can actually see whether or not you are getting your knees fully straightened. What you should see at the top of a kettlebell swing, rather than this bent line here, is a straight line going from shoulder to hip to knee to ankle all the way down here. And if we were to go ahead and take a screenshot of the top of this swing, nailed it. But even if you're getting your hips and knees fully extended, there's still one mistake that will leave all sorts of things on the table. And that's when you have improper sequencing between arms and legs. So ideally with the kettlebell swing, we should be transferring the energy from our legs to our arms. And this is accomplished, by the way, because we actually make contact between our forearm and our hip. And when we stand all the way up, what we should see is our hips fully extend, and only then do our arms leave our hips. In other words, you generate so much momentum with your legs that when your hips stop, your arms just keep going. So your shoulders should never get tired in this exercise. So just like with our last mistake, set up your camera from the side view here. And if you notice that when you are coming up, your arms peel away from your hips early and your hips are following here, and you don't have improper sequencing, and you need to make sure that you keep your forearms in contact with your hips all the way until your hips and knees get fully extended before that bell launches off. So if you make these adjustments and you tilt your kettlebell, you put your hips at the halfway point between the shoulder and the knee, you fully straighten your knees out at the top, and maintain this connection between your forearm and your hip as you launch that bell upward, you will have yourself a textbook kettlebell swing. Well, this is a great place to start troubleshooting your kettlebell swing. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to address the single arm swing here or other variations. So if you wonder what the benefits are of a single arm swing versus a two-hand swing, check out this video here, and I'll see you on the next one.